October is the perfect month to invite a new member into your family, especially if you're looking to add a pet, as October is National Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, and organizations such as the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center are looking to make sure that these dogs that they have in their facility make it into loving homes as soon as possible. Here with more information on the Adoption Center and their efforts during the month of October is Joanie Toole, the chief of the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center. Joanie, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having us. I'm actually coming to you from Kitty City. Let's not leave the kitties out of this.
Yeah, definitely. All the traditional pets that we see in our homes are in a similar position to our dogs in the month of October and all throughout the year, looking for loving homes to hopefully be for the remainder of their lives. And that's the key part of this, is not only do we want these pets to get adopted, we want them to go into homes where they're going to be for the remainder of their lives and be in loving and comfortable situations. So as we try to get these dogs and cats and other animals adopted, what sort of homes are the best situations for these animals to get adopted into?
Well, I always say do your research. You got to find the pet that is right for your lifestyle. If you're a couch potato, then you definitely don't want to get like a husky or a terrier. Those are high energy dogs. So you'd want something more maybe like a French bulldog or something to that effect. But you got to really do your research. And I know a lot of us go off of looks, but it's best for you and best for the animal if you do your research and find out what's going to fit into your lifestyle. And of course, cats are a good opportunity as well because they are low maintenance. You can be a couch potato all you want. They'll sit right there with you.
And let's unpack that a little further, doing your research. We hear that often when we talk to animal adoption organizations, whether it's your adoption center and the animal shelter through Oakland County or other nonprofit organizations in the local area. What should that research consist of?
Well, first, you probably want to go by your looks. I know everybody loves, I'll do the Huskies again, because they're gorgeous dogs. They're beautiful dogs. But if you're not an active person or if you're not home a lot, what's going to happen is that dog is going to try to find ways to get out their energy, whether it's chewing on your bed or chewing on your couch or trying to escape and running down the road. So your best place to start is the internet. Maybe pick a breed that looks pleasing to you, and then do a little deep dive on that and see what their personality is. See what it takes for them to have a happy, healthy life. Little terriers, the same thing. They require a lot of energy. They need their brain to be working, and if you're not going to give that to them, then what's going to come out of that is chewed up things, and you're feeling frustrated and they're feeling frustrated. And so we don't want to get to that point. We want to make sure that we match up the best pet for you and your family.
And so as people are doing that research, often, Joanie, as you mentioned, they're thinking about all the reasons to consider this breed of dog versus that breed, or whether a dog or a cat or another animal is the right fit for my home. But they should also be considering what could be some of the negatives of bringing an animal into their home that could ultimately bring them to a point where they adopt an animal now, and a few months, a few years later, they're ending up abandoning those animals back to your shelter or another one. So let's break it a little bit into the common reasons why we see these animals then go back into the process to be rehomed later on, and how that should also factor in to that research for potential adoptees.
Well, adopting a pet should never be an impulse. It's something that you really need to think about. And a lot of people, they fall in love with this cute little fuzzy little furry thing, and then they get it home and it goes to the bathroom on the floor, and then you start to get frustrated because you're trying to potty train it. It's not going very well. And then pretty soon when they get a little bit older and they have, they're kind of like teenagers. They're going to talk back to you. They're going to sometimes we see that coming out in aggressive behavior. So people aren't putting in the time or effort to train their pets. And that's an important part of it. These pets want, especially dogs, not cats, but dogs, they want a job to do. They want to please you. They need to have that stimulation. And if you're not going to give that to them, like I said, it's going to come out in negative ways. So you'll really want to take a look at that. And another thing you want to take a look at as well is, plan your pet into your future. If something should happen to you, where would that pet go? You need to make those arrangements before that kind of thing happens. We see that a lot. It's very, very sad. The owner passes away, and then we get a dog because no one in the family can take it and take care of it. And it's so sad. But you really need to start to think about stuff like that. It's not just let's go get this cute little fuzzy little thing and play with it. But you got to remember that it's a living, breathing thing, and it needs to be taken care of whether you're there or not.
Joanie Toole is with us from the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center. October is National Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, and they are helping to bring those efforts forward to bring dogs in our local area into loving forever homes in Greater West Bloomfield and beyond. Few places you can go for more information. oakgov.com, the Oakland County main website. If you scroll over their community tab on the right side, you'll see a section for pet adoption. All the details you need on cats found, dogs found, the Animal Control Center, the Pet Adoption Center also. We can go through dogs and cats and some of the considerations and resources that you'll need to make this very important decision for you and these animals. You can also find them on social media. Instagram at oak_PAC and on Facebook at oakgov.op. Joanie, we want to make the process easy for people when they have gone through all those considerations and now they want to bring one of these dogs, one of these cats or other animals from the Oakland County Animal Shelter into their home. How does the animal shelter make this process easier for those looking to adopt?
Well, we want to match the perfect pet up to your family. So if you are a family, bring your family. The animals should meet everyone and see how they react. If you have young kids and you're going to introduce a big, clumsy dog, you might want to think twice about that. Not that the dog is going to intentionally hurt young children, but because they're big and clumsy, they might knock a child over. So we like to have the whole family come in and meet the animal and see if it's going to fit within their needs. Now, a lot of our pets, we don't have a lot of background on. They're mostly stray, but we try to gather as much information when they're here at the shelter to fit them to the perfect home. Sometimes we don't always get it right, and sometimes animals act differently in a shelter situation than they do in a home situation. And the other thing is, when you do bring your pet home, you want to make sure that you are very consistent within the first month or two. That goes for potty training, feeding times. Everything is well coordinated. Just like a child, they like consistency. They get used to that. So that's a very important thing to do there. And then training. They need training. They need to know that you're looking out for them and that you know what's best for them. So a lot of training should go into a new pet as well.
And one of the concerns upon adopting a pet is making sure that not only they're a good fit for your home, but they're coming in healthy as well. How does the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center help to ensure that these animals that are perhaps having a history of being strays, being abandoned either by their natural pet parents or their previous owners, are coming into their hopefully forever homes fully healthy and ready to join those families?
Well, we have a full vet staff here and a full clinic facility here. The pet that you adopt from us is going to be up to date on their vaccinations. They're going to be up to date on their parasite control, which is fleas and worms and ticks and those things. And then they're also going to be spayed and neutered before they leave the shelter. So we're giving you a great start of a healthy pet. But again, like I said, we don't know a lot of the background of the animals. We can try and figure out medically everything that's going on underneath the surface. But sometimes it's hard to flesh that out in the shelter situation. So you'll want to follow up with a vet as soon as possible. But we do everything is done before the pet is leaves the shelter with you, and you just want to follow up and keep following up with your veterinarian.
Always a good idea. Joanie Toole is with us from the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center. October is National Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, and they are participating over at the Oakland County Animal Shelter. You can participate as well. Consider bringing some of these animals into your home and creating loving environments for them to live out the remainder of their lives. But Joanie, some people don't have the right situation at home to be bringing these animals into. Maybe they live in apartments that don't allow dogs or only allow a certain number of pets. They have cats and they love dogs, but they can't have both of them at the same time because it puts them over the limit. Maybe someone in the family is allergic and they can't have them in the home. There are other ways that they can still get involved with the Oakland County Animal Shelter. How can they do that?
Oh, definitely. If you're an animal lover, volunteering at the shelter, we always need volunteers, either to walk the dogs or to come even sit in Kitty City here, like I'm doing today. A lot of people will just come in here and read a book. You never know what that human interaction does for that animal. And we also have a lot of enrichment that even if you don't want to touch the animals, you can help us put together enrichment packets like peanut butter and Kongs and those types of things that we give out to the animals here to keep them happy and healthy. So there's lots of ways that you can definitely help the shelter. You can also, if you've got old linens at home, you can donate those. If want to take it even further and go to our wish list, our Amazon wish list, and donate from there. And then we also do take in monetary donations. And those donations are used to help the animals here at the shelter if they're ill or they're injured. And we just cannot do that surgery or that procedure here at the shelter. We will send them out to local vets, and we use that money to help those animals so they can get better and we can find them a new loving home.
And Joanie, lastly, if people have heard all this, they've maybe have already been making some considerations, and now they want to go forward and start the adoption process, where can they do that? What are those first steps they can take to get in contact with your team and consider some of the animals in the Oakland County Pet Adoption Center?
Well, they can certainly come down to the shelter anytime that we're open. That's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're open late on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're open till 7 p.m. And then we're open on Saturdays from 10 until 4. So, come down, check us out, see what we have here as far as pets. And if you don't find the perfect pet the first time, don't get discouraged because they are always coming through our doors. Our inventory changes daily. So don't just settle on something that you found because you want that pet. Go ahead, take your time. Like I said, our inventory is always changing.
Kittens like Roscoe, dogs like Bow Wowzer, and so many more at the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center are looking for homes right now. oakgov.com. Scroll over their community section on the right side. You'll see Pet Adoption to learn even more information and start that process. Joanie, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having us.